Peter Rabbit had never felt a fear like this before. The sun was beginning to sink behind the hills, painting the garden in a golden-orange glow, but there was no warmth in Peter's heart. Benjamin, his closest friend, the one who always had a mischievous smile and a clever idea, was gone. Peter had called out, shouted, and even searched the entire meadow, but there was no sign of him. Panic gnawed at him, twisting his stomach into tight knots. How could Benjamin just vanish into thin air? Peter's little paws trembled as he thought about all the times Benjamin had saved him from trouble, the times they had laughed together under the big oak tree, and the countless adventures that had filled their days. Now, those memories felt fragile, almost cruel, because the laughter was gone. The garden, which had always felt like a safe haven, seemed impossibly large and empty. Peter took a deep breath, trying to calm himself, but his fear only grew stronger. Something was wrong, very wrong. He knew he had to find Benjamin, no matter the cost, but the thought of venturing alone into the dark forest made his heart race. Still, he couldn't wait another second. He bolted through the underbrush, ears alert for the slightest rustle. Determined to bring his friend back, Peter's journey was harder than he imagined. The forest, once a place of playful exploration, now felt like a maze full of shadows and whispers. Every snapped twig and distant howl made him jump. He remembered Benjamin's advice: stay clever, Peter, and never give up. That thought was the only thing keeping him going. Hours passed, or maybe it was only minutes. Peter had lost track of time. Hunger clawed at him, and exhaustion weighed on his little legs, but he refused to stop. Then, near a small stream, he spotted signs of Benjamin. A torn piece of his scarf snagged on a branch. Peter's heart leaped. Benjamin had been here. He followed the trail, heart pounding with hope and fear. As night fell, the forest grew colder and stranger. Shadows twisted into frightening shapes, and strange noises echoed around him. A sudden rustling made Peter freeze. Out of the darkness, a fox appeared, its eyes glinting in the dim moonlight. Peter's first instinct was to run, but he remembered Benjamin's words: courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it. Steeling himself, Peter darted in a zigzag, narrowly escaping the predator. His heart raced, but he kept going, driven by friendship stronger than any fear. Eventually, he reached a hidden clearing where the faint glow of a lantern lit a small burrow. Could it be Benjamin? Peter's ears twitched as he listened. There was a soft sobbing inside. He squeezed through the small entrance, and there he was, Benjamin, trapped but unharmed, caught in a hunter's forgotten net. Relief and joy surged through Peter, but he didn't waste a second. Using all his strength and wit, Peter gnawed and pulled at the ropes until Benjamin was free. Tears welled in Benjamin's eyes as he hugged Peter tightly. "I knew you'd come," he whispered. "I never doubted it for a second." The two friends, exhausted but victorious, made their way back to the garden, their bond deeper than ever. That night, under the stars, Peter realized something he hadn't understood before. Friendship could give courage to face the darkest fears. The next morning, the garden seemed brighter, filled with laughter and life once again. Peter and Benjamin, though tired, were unstoppable in their play, each moment a celebration of survival and trust. But the adventure had left them changed. Benjamin, who had always been bold, now had a quiet wisdom in his eyes, while Peter carried a newfound strength that came from overcoming terror. They knew that the world outside their safe burrow could be dangerous, unpredictable, and full of surprises, but they also knew that together they could face anything. The disappearance had tested them in ways they could never have imagined. It taught them patience, courage, and the unshakable power of standing by someone you love. Peter often thought back to that night, to the fear, the rushing heartbeats, and the forest that seemed endless. Every time he did, he smiled, because he remembered that he had never given up, and that had made all the difference. Benjamin, too, often spoke about the adventure, but with a soft laugh rather than a shiver. "We were a team, Peter," he said one afternoon, nibbling on a carrot. "Always a team." And that was the truth, the lesson etched into their hearts forever. Bravery is not about being fearless. It's about fighting for the ones you care about, even when the world seems against you. With that, they hopped through the garden, ready for new adventures, but wiser, stronger, and more connected than ever.